Hey everybody, peace and blessings to you. I hope that this video meets you well. I am Letitia. I'm a 42-year-old home managing homeschooling mom of 5 children. I am an INFJ empath, an idealist, an intuitive, an energy reader, a light worker, agnostic, progressive, pro-truth, pro-freedom, pro-love, messenger of love, truth, and light, and so much more. Poet, and so much more. And I usually have these introductions at the beginning of most of my videos because one, I am trying to build a platform and community, and I want people to know who I am because I know there's a lot of people out there that does videos. There's so many creators out there. I know you have plenty of options. You have a buffet of creators to choose from. And if you are stumbling on me and for the first time, I want you to know who I am. I want you to know who I am because who I am plays an important role in the content that I produce, the videos that I make. My platform is Letitia Learns Life. And what I'm basically doing is sharing my perspective on the world, sharing the things that I observe, sharing the things that I go through, my experiences, my feelings, my challenges, my journey as an INFJ empath, which is a very rare personality type. And as an empath, I absorb a lot of energy. I absorb the energy around me. I absorb feelings and I just absorb a lot. And navigating as that, it's very difficult, especially now that we live in this information overload space. We live in the period of technology and social media and so much information coming at you. We live in a period where, truth and lie, discerning between truth and lies is a little bit more challenging, and you have to be more intentional and focused when doing that. We live in a period where, what was wrong, what would be considered wrong, is now glorified and considered right, and what truth. People can't tell the difference between truth and lies, and we just live in a period that is very, very challenging for the type of person I am. A light worker, an absorber of energy, an empath, an INFJ. As an INFJ, my personality type is it's a rare personality type. I rarely meet other I rarely meet other INFJs. We have the ability to be both spiritual and logical, and we have the ability to connect dots and connect pieces of a puzzle. Like we look at things and we receive information in which we make connections, and we see things that other people don't see, and we see things in a way other people don't see it. And I felt like my perspective is one that is needed. And some people would really appreciate it, some people would be inspired by it or feel enlightened by it. But the reason I call my platform Letitia Learns Life as opposed to Letitia Helps You See the Light, or whatever, is because I am learning. It's kind of like one of those situations where you kind of like throw the kid in the water and tell them to swim. Figure it out, swim. Well, I've been working on figuring it out for 4 years, maybe longer. But I really, really started to step up within the last 4 years. Step up and try very hard to educate myself so that my intuition has a broader range to draw from. And my wisdom has a broader range to draw from. And I try to read and learn and educate myself, because I feel like your intuition will work better the more that you are aware of and the more that you know. But being an empath, being somebody that absorbs energy and absorbs other people's emotions, you have to be very, very careful. And obviously, I have had to be very careful, even more than I have ever had to be in the last uh, almost 3 months since the election. And I have been trying to make conscious decisions of what I can do to protect myself, protect my family, but also to help others if I can, in whatever way I can help. Because I believe that we're in a situation now where it's all hands on deck. It is do or die. We all have to contribute in some way. We all have to protect ourselves and take care of ourselves as best as we can and do whatever it is we can to make the situation better. So the title of this video, the purpose of this particular video is I was going to call it February 1st review. And I want to talk a little bit about my day yesterday, because that's an important part of the journey that, the process that I'm going through, that we're all going through, and I want to talk about some stuff. I have no idea exactly how the video is going to go, but I hope that wherever it takes you into an enlightened, hopeful, more informed place. That is always my goal. So, yesterday was tough. I started out the day really good. I had a quiet morning. I had some downloads, some thoughts that came to me that I felt like, okay, yes, I want to share this. But I'm gonna go exercise first. So I'm gonna do some exercising first. And while I was exercising, or before I was exercising, I went on one of my social media spaces where I receive a lot of information of what is what, and that is when I learned a lot about a lot of horrible things that has taken place over the last couple of days, in the transition between the end of January and the beginning of February. I had just posted a video that I recorded on January 30th talking about how I believed that I passed the threshold and I was no longer triggered. And then the dark entity, the bad guys, the darkness was like, yeah, you think so? Let's see about that. And a whole set of negative downloads came. Negative information was revealed to me, and I became aware of certain things. I became aware of another plane crash. So there's two plane crashes that happened. The one in Philadelphia happened the day after, I think the day after the one, near Washington D.C. And if you know what you know, if you know what's going on, then you know that there were actions that were taken. There were firings, like firing key personnel and disbanding the safety committee, the aviation safety committee, and I might get some names wrong. I don't know. I don't have the notes in front of me because there's so much to take in remembering all this stuff. But there were and having a hiring freeze and all kind of stuff, like just really attacking that industry along with attacking everything else. And then we know that yesterday was the beginning of unnecessary tariffs, to start a trade war with allies and China, America, to hurt the American economy. So we know that Trump, I call his name. We know that the MAGA emperor placed 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% tariff on China. And so, Letitia Learns Life. I'm learning about all these things. I'm learning about economics, psychology, sociology, science, and health, educate. Like literally, the last 4 years have educated me in a bigger way than college would have, because the amount of things that have been under attack by this darkness, it made me learn about a whole heck of a lot of things that was holding this world together, holding, taking care of people, and you know, just the things that affect our daily lives that we didn't have to think about, that we have to think about now, you know. And then there was the knowledge of the memos and the purge, you know, with him firing FBI agents and you know, FBI agents and people that was working on investigating him, working on his you know, working on investigating him. And then we know about the scrubbing of websites, so like that was all that would pass on important information, like the CDC websites, and you know, different websites that had important information for the American people. Then we know about, you know, the discussion of opening Guantanamo Bay to house like over like, I don't want to get the number wrong, but this is the number I believe that I saw, 30,000 migrants. You could check, you know, always check behind me when I'm passing on like detailed information, because I am more of a person that discusses things from on the surface standpoint, because it's hard to retain all the information in memory, the retain the correct information. That is not my job. You know, I'm just trying to learn as I go along. Learn, I dig a little deeper and study and learn and pass on information that, you know, little threads that you can go and find out certain things for yourself, you know. But I could tell you that everything has been happening so fast. And I remember mentioning this word in at least 2 videos that I've made so far, that I learned over the summer. And I'm so glad that I spent the summer watching these World War II documentaries on Netflix, because and I wrote down notes, so I had to go check my notes to remind myself of this word, because things started to happen so fast that I made the connection, that it reminded me of, you know, when the Germans was I don't know what the exact term is, but like they were, you know, heading into France, like you know what, I don't know what the exact word is, but when many soldiers attacking, right? And it was, the word that was used was called blitzkrieg, you know, blitzkrieg. And that could be that word, you could look up that word on the internet. But it's a German word that just, you know, basically talking about, I mentioned it in the previous video, lightning war, meaning things happening so fast it has the enemy like disoriented, and they can't keep up, and they can't respond fast enough because it's just happening too fast. And that's what's been happening, like things have just been happening so fast, and it's like this working hard to dismantle democracy and use methods out of the at the Yahtzee, you know what I mean, playbook, the fewer playbook, and you know, it's really giving the vibes of rhyming, like, you know, just the everything is feels like just history just repeating itself, which is just absolutely crazy, because it's just hard to believe that, you know, as people said, never again, and yet still again, we did it again, you know, and we're back here again, even though we are supposed to be an evolved people. And I'm just thinking that maybe this is a retest, and this time the light workers and the warriors and the, you know, the heroes, I don't know what the right word is, but the helpers gonna step up a little bit harder this time. They're gonna do better this time, and we're now gonna allow it to go all the way into completely repeating itself, because I mean, we are to the purge and the concentration camp stage of the story, and that is really not a pleasant thought. You know, that is not a pleasant thought. And the thing is that this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. What's happening? and something got to give, and something has to change. And we can't allow our world to be destroyed like this, especially by these people that are so horrible, and stupid, and just horrible people. And I thought of some things, so I just wrote down some random notes here that I will share with you, like random things that I wrote down. One of the things I have at the top of my note is shadow work. And shadow work is not a, a word that I often use in my vocabulary either. But yesterday was tough. Let me go back. Let me rewind. I was supposed to be talking about yesterday. Yesterday was tough. And I spent my day in bed yesterday. Like I started off well, and then as I was taking in all this information of all this bad stuff all at once, right? It again it draws the connection to, oh my God, we're gonna do this again. This is bad. And you know, wondering should not wondering should feeling like, oh my God, we shouldn't be here. My family or we're not safe. America's not safe. We are not safe. None of us are safe. None of us are safe, but my family is more not safe than a lot. We are in the real vulnerable section of the not safe territory, you know. And the only thing that keeps me from being afraid is the fact that I'm like, I've always trusted my guides of my inner intuition and guides, and that would always lead me where it wanted me to go, where they wanted me to go, where it wanted me to go, you know. And this is where I ended up. Where I am now is where I ended up, and I don't know if he was to try to go somewhere else. I feel like we would have been forcing it, because there was no other path that was cleared other than this path, and there's no path that is clearing for us to run off and try to escape at the moment. I don't feel that. I feel like, to me, my intuition tells me to hunker down, because where we are is a pretty safe place, and it's a comfortable place, and we don't have a lot of friends, and that might be actually a good thing. We could keep our head down and keep a low profile, and we might be safe. I don't recommend you doing that. If you are not a part of the endangered communities, and you could join some communities and get together with your neighbors and get to know people and do better than that. I recommend it. I recommend being a part of a community, But I had a hard day yesterday, and I felt the energy in my back up until nighttime. I only started to feel like on and off. I managed to bring myself down, but I could never, throughout the entire day, I couldn't get that intense energy out of my body. It was just there, hitting my nervous system, like this anxiety in my body that I just could not bring. I couldn't get it out. Even with a nap, I woke up and I still felt that energy. I still felt it in my body. The nap didn't help. But what did help eventually, like late at night, was when I started to see some of the posts of fellow light workers, intuitives, fellow people that help me, fellow creators that help me keep the hope alive, help me keep the hope burning in my soul. Watching some of their videos helped me. And I also had the opportunity to laugh and watch an old movie that I haven't watched in a long time. That was one of my dad's favorite movies. I don't know if you guys know this. The Gods Must Be Crazy. Did you see that one? And there's some lessons, some things that, watching that old movie and things that were said in that old movie that feels so like, yep, like relatable to where we are now, and like it's just very interesting. But it was a funny movie, and I got to laugh. And you know, eventually, as late in the night is when I finally got that energy out of my body. And then I woke up this morning and I felt better again. I felt better again, and I got a lot done. I came into my workspace here, and I got a lot done. So back to what I was saying, shadow work. And I wrote, yeah, that we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because what the problem here is that America needs to heal. And that America needs to heal. America has to do the shadow work, and I think that's what we're doing, is being forced upon everybody in this country. Everybody in the world basically is dealing with their shadow work. And I heard other intuitive creators say that, we are having to bring things up to the surface so that we could face them and deal with them and experience them and feel them and know them and learn them. And I don't know what the right words is, but we have to we have to kind of like deal with our shadow work and be comfortable with discomfort. I feel like America needs to release ego, because for the last however long, this whole MAGA emperor era, right? This whole period of when this person rose to everybody's attention and had the first term, and then was shadow government in the during the Biden administration, and then like shadow government, like sabotaging and like really making it hard for the Biden administration to do what they had to do without obstruction from all the MAGAs that was remaining in the government. And then now here we are, second term, which they're trying to consolidate power and make it permanent. The people that attach themselves to the MAGA emperor is using the opportunity, using what comes with his power, the cult influence, the cult, the following of the cult, and the ability to accomplish what just happened. However they did it, all the different ways in which they did it to make whatever just happened happen. They're using that opportunity to consolidate power and make it so that they'll be in control forever, or for a very long time, a very, very long time. And that's a bummer, because we can't really afford these people to be in control for a very long time. We actually have to fight back, because this time it is life and death to the human race and to the planet. It's just different. It's not the same as in World War II times. We have the ability now to destroy ourselves and our planet, and this is not sustainable, and they cannot win. Even though it feels like there's a David against Goliath moment, we have to bring down Goliath. We have to bring down Goliath at all costs. So I'm waiting for everybody to catch up. But in order for everybody to catch up, we have to shed all skin. So that was one of the notes I had here. This is the year of the snake, right? In relation to the Chinese New Year, in the zodiac year, or however you will say, with the zodiac animals, this is the year of the snake. And one of the interesting things about the year of the snake is the whole imagery of shedding all skin, because we know that snake sheds its old skin, and that is what we are doing right now. We're shedding our old skin. We are getting rid of the old and the crinkly and the old. Let's just say we're getting rid of the old, and we're moving into something new, right? And these people cannot remain in charge. They have to lose. So we got to figure it out, and we got to get it together real quick. So what we got to do is we got to heal. Like I said, we got to be comfortable with discomfort. We got to put in the effort. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to heal. Got to do that shadow work, right? And I have some other notes here that I don't think it's necessary to to actually bring up. But maybe I'll say it anyway. I had one of the things that another thing I wrote down, because I didn't actually write any words attached to things. I just wrote them down. I thought about Eric Carle, the grumpy ladybug, and how that story is about two ladybugs. One that is at peace and, just minding her business, eating her aphids. And then this grumpy ladybug was like, I want it all for myself. I don't want to share with you. And he was like, you want to fight for them? And she was like, yeah, sure. If that's what we got to do, you know. And he was like, oh, you're not big enough. And throughout the whole process in the book, he keep going and asking creature after creature, and they keep getting bigger and bigger. You want to fight? You want to fight? And he keeps saying, you're not big enough. You're not big enough. You're not big enough. So eventually, he's asking the whale's head, and the whale can't hear, so he go into the whale's middle and asks, no answer. And then he went to the tail, and when he asked, the whale just knocked him, sent him flying, and he was so traumatized by that he ended up where he started, and he ended up having no choice but to go share the aphids with the other ladybug that was just about minding their business, trying to having no problem sharing, and you want to fight. And when I think about the story of Eric Carle and the grumpy ladybug, it reminds me of the the type of people that find themselves a part of the MAGA movement. Um, Instead of just sharing, instead of just wanting to minding our own business and sharing the resources and being at peace with one another. They're trying to fight with everybody. And it's just like the long painful way to end up where you needed to be in the first place, which is at the beginning of where you just needed to share. You needed to share. That's it. Share the resources, because there is enough to go around if we share. And people and their ego and the greed and the ugliness, those things in this moment have to come up to the surface so we could deal with those things, because those things make it hard for us as human beings to just share and to be at peace and to do what we got to do, to live and thrive as best as possible until we pass on from this planet, because we are meant to share. And greed is just effing things up. And then I got two more things just written there, no notes. Fertile soil. And why I have fertile soil is that every dark thing that is coming out of people was something that was always there. So if somebody says some ugly shit and it appeals to you, then it means that ugly shit was in your heart in the first place. It means that there was fertile soil to sow the seeds of hate and ugliness and racism and all the worst parts of us. So it was fertile soil, and I'm grateful that there was no fertile soil for hate in me. There wasn't any fertile soil for that kind of darkness, that level of darkness in me. But we all have shadows, we all have traumas, we all have things about ourselves that needs to heal. But when there's fertile soil in which those things bring out like violence and ugliness and hate and ugliness to your fellow human beings, and that's some real deep shit. That's some ugly stuff that needs to be worked on or dealt with in some way, because it's not a sustainable thing. And the last thing I got written down here is transmute. That's a word that I haven't really I haven't gone down that study or whatever. I haven't gone down that so per se, but one of the thoughts that came to me is that, you know, we're gonna have to work on learning how to turn darkness into light, things that were meant for evil into things that can be used for good, you know. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video or another time. But long story short is that my February started off rough because of all the stuff that they were throwing at us. And yesterday was rough. And, you know, I said I felt like I passed the threshold of not being triggered. And then there was whoosh. And I don't know if I would call that being triggered, but it affected me. All that stuff all at once, because I know that we're not safe, you know. And I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. I'm not sure how we defeat this power grab. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know that people got a lot of things in the works. Like there's protests at all 50 states, state capital, on February 5th. And then there's the general strike. And and the website to go to for that is generalstrikeus.com. Generalstrikeus.com. And I think it is March. I forgot the exact date, but the general strike is in March, and that is another effort that the people are trying to do. And I think that that's the best one. But I feel like it has to be enough people, and it has to be for long enough that it really, really like grabs the attention of businesses, and you know the grabs the attention of the country. Like put that country on pause. I could tell you one thing is that I believe is that the Trump and the MAGA Emperor administration, I think that the whole purpose is to destabilize the country, destabilize the economy, and hurt Americans in every way possible. Like, basically weaken the country and the people in it as much as possible. I believe that that is their agenda. I don't know if that aligns with the agenda of the ideologues that align themselves with him, but I know that that is his agenda. And I don't know if it's because he is a willing asset of, you know, an enemy country of America, or a useful idiot. But either way, that is his purpose, is to weaken this country and destabilize it, the economy and everything in it, as much as possible. And that's why all the policies and all the decisions being made are not designed to help but to hurt Americans in every way possible, and basically tame Americans into nothing, you know. Beat down the American people till there's nothing left. And that's unfortunate. And that's why I believe that I have to do my part as a light worker and do my shadow work and hold my light and continue to make these videos and continue to do my best that I know how to do. But it's, you know, it's a slow process for me. But there are people that are doing the work that have bigger platforms that, you know, are reaching people. But I'm doing my part and trying to build my platform up so I could deliver a message of truth and love and light as well, you know. And I'm doing my best to take care of myself and educate myself and practice my communication and play around with this YouTube account and all the other accounts that I have, like my Substack and a little bit of TikTok, and I'm on Blue Sky as well. And just trying to grow this platform as best as I can. And I'm celebrating today because I got one extra subscriber. I finally am up to 14 now. 14 YouTube subscribers. It is happening slowly for me. But like I said, I want to celebrate the wins, and I'm gonna keep trying, and doing the work, you know. But I ask that you go into my profile and follow me other places, like I'm on Substack and Blue Sky, like I said. And I was an Instagrammer, but I deleted all my meta stuff, and I'm playing with the idea of going back, but I don't want to. But some of the people that I asked to follow me other places have not. I haven't heard from them or seen them in a while, and I kind of miss them. And I'm kind of playing with the idea of possibly, um, possibly. Yeah, I stuck at it. I'm lost at the correct word, but like, let's just say reinstate, reopen one of my accounts. I had four. I had four Instagram accounts, and I'm playing with the idea of, oh, you know, what is the word? Reopen. I'm playing with the idea of. I just can't get the word. I'm playing with the idea of getting on pausing the delete, because I can't remember the word right now. I'm playing with the idea of on pausing the delete on one of my four Instagram accounts, but I don't want to. But I kind of do miss my Instagram people that I left behind, that has not reconnected with me since I left. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all the things. Help me with the algorithm stuff. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Thank you.